because you have to remember basic principles here for you to fully understand the concept. Pag nalito kayo, wala na. Sa umpisa pa lang, may hilo-hilo na kayo. Okay? So, do you have a copy already of the lecture? Okay, so 2 topics for this afternoon: development of reproductive and endocrine systems. So I'm going to start with development of reproductive system. Okay, so I'm going to start my screen share. Okay, just checking po if you could see it.
Yes po.
Okay na po. Okay, so let's start. Okay, kuha po kayo ng kape. Okay, ako po may isang kape dito. Actually, pangalawa ko na ito. The topic will be about development of reproductive systems, and that will be for male and female. And these are the objectives for this lecture. Okay. At the end of this lecture, you should be able to discuss the development of male and female reproductive systems. You have to know the terms mesonephric and paramesonephric ducts, and you should be able to enumerate derivatives and discuss common congenital anomalies resulting from abnormal development of the male and female reproductive systems. Okay, so these terms, you're going to hear these terms again and again during this lecture: mesonephric and paramesonephric duct. Mesonephric duct, you associate it with male, and paramesonephric duct, you associate it with female. Okay? So before we do the lecture, okay, let's review first some basic concepts during the first semester. Okay, let's start with formation of gametes, gametogenesis. Okay, if you're male, you are producing sperm cell at the male gonad testis process. We call it as spermatogenesis. And sperm cell will contain haploid number. And what is haploid number? That is 23. And what is 23 for sperm cell? It's either 22X or 22Y. Don't say 22XY. No. When you say 22XY, this is 24, which means you have an excess of 1 chromosome. Okay, so it's only 23. What is 23 in males? It's 22X or 22Y. For the X cell, for females, the process of formation, call it as oogenesis, X cell, and also containing haploid number. And what is haploid number? It's 23. And what is 23? It's 22X. Okay, again, no Y chromosome, only. So the Y chromosome will come from the sperm cell.
Dok,
Yes.
lag po yung simula. Super lag.
Alin doon?
Putol-putol po kayo, Dok, simula nung umpisa. Nagmula kanina.
Okay. So again, the process, we call it as gametogenesis. Okay, at the end of gametogenesis, either it's sperm cell or egg cell that will be produced. The process in males, we call it as spermatogenesis, occurring at the male gonad testis. Okay, and the chromosome number, it's 22 or 22, 22X or 22Y. Okay, so haploid number, what is haploid? It's 23. For males, it's 22X or 22Y. Okay, again, don't say 22XY. When you say 22XY, it's 24. The normal have an excess of 1 chromosome. Understood po? Okay, again, what part here? Ano pong di nyo nakuha? Yeah, okay. So the process, we call it as spermatogenesis sa lalaki. Okay? Occurring at the, actually, review lang to mga anak ha. Occurring at the male gonad testis. Sperm cell either carrying 22X or 22Y. Okay? That is haploid. Okay? Don't say 22XY because when you say 22XY, this is 24. So you have an excess of 1 chromosome. Dapat 22X lang or 22Y. Understood? Clear po?
Yes po.
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. The counterpart is oogenesis, occurring at the female gonad ovary. And also it contains 23. And what is 23? It's 22X. Okay? Take note that the Y chromosome will only coming from the sperm cell. The egg cell will not contribute any Y chromosome, only coming from the sperm cell. Clear so far?
Yes po.
Okay. So let's review again the process of fertilization. I hope you still remember that. The union of sperm cell and egg cell to form a zygote. Okay. This is the secondary oocyte, which is surrounded by zona pellucida. And this one is the corona radiata. Again, at the time of ovulation, what is being ovulated by the
Doc,
ovary?
excuse me po. Naglalag po kayo ulit.
Okay. So what is being ovulated is a secondary oocyte surrounded by zona pellucida and corona radiata. Okay? Process again at the time of ovulation. Clear po? Clear po? Hello po, section B. Clear po ba?
Doc, at choppy po kayo sa slide po na yan. And then yung slide niyo po is blurred na po.
Ano ba nangyayari? Bakit blurred? Okay, can you see it?
Yes po.
Okay. So the union of sperm cell and egg cell, what is the process?
Fertilization.
Fertilization. Saan nga ulit nangyayari ang fertilization? What part of the fallopian tube? What part of the fallopian tube?
Ampulla of the
The ampulla of the fallopian tube. Okay. In the process of oogenesis, what will complete meiosis 1? Sinabi sa inyo yun dati. What will complete meiosis 1? Ovulation. Tama? Okay. At the time of ovulation, what is being released by the ovary? This is the secondary oocyte, which is surrounded by zona pellucida and corona radiata. Okay? So this is just stages. Review lang to. Sperm cell will pass through the corona radiata, will penetrate the zona pellucida, will fuse with the plasma, there will be fusion of the plasma membranes of oocyte and sperm cell, fusion of male and female pronuclei, and as a result, there will be formation of zygote. Okay? So, what are the results of fertilization? So again, there will be completion of the second meiotic division. The first meiotic division will be completed if there is ovulation, while what will complete second meiotic division is the process of fertilization. Clear po? Clear.
Yes po.
Okay. Diploid number of chromosomes will be restored. Why? 23 coming from sperm plus 23 coming from egg cell results to 46. So there will be restoration of the diploid number of chromosomes. Okay? It results in variation of human species because you have the process of meiosis. It determines the chromosomal sex of the embryo. Okay? And a series of mitotic divisions will occur. We call it as cleavage. Okay, let's go back to the basic principle. Sperm cell. If at the time of fertilization, 23 sperm cell or 22Y sperm cell fertilizes an egg cell containing 22X. So what will be the result? Algebra. 22Y plus 22X. What will happen? What is the union?
For XY po.
44XY. So this is destined to become male. Okay? While if at the time of fertilization, 22YX sperm cell, sperm to fertilizes 22X egg cell. What will happen? What is the result? Algebra. 44 XX. This is to become female. So pag tinanong kayo, what will determine chromosomal sex? What will be your answer? It is determined by the kind of sperm cell that fertilizes the egg cell. Are we clear?
Yes po.
Okay. These two questions were asked to you last semester. I want you to answer it simply by yes or no. The genotype of the embryo is established at fertilization. What will be your answer? Yes or no? How is it determined? The genotype of the embryo is established at fertilization. Yes, the answer is yes. How is it determined? Sabihin nyo, anak.
The kind of
It is
sperm
determined by the kind of sperm cell po.
It's yes. So it's determined by the kind of sperm cell that fertilizes the egg cell. Okay, second question. The phenotype of the embryo is established at fertilization. What will be your answer? Yes or no?
Hmm.
No po.
No. Bakit? Why? What is phenotype?
Expression of being male or female.
Very good. So that's the expression of being male or female. Okay? Take note again. The chromosomal sex and genetic sex of an embryo is established at fertilization by the kind of sperm cell that fertilizes the egg cell. But the male and female morphological characteristics do not begin to develop until the 7th week of human development. And at this point, the early genital systems in two sexes are said to be similar in structures. That's why we call it as in different stage of sexual development. Okay, pa? Again, in the future, I'm sure meron magpapakonsulta sa inyo, di ba? Okay? Or kayo na lang, mga doktora. Okay? If you're suspecting someone, a relative of yours, di ba, na pregnant, okay, syempre, usually delayed ang menstruation. For example, one month, it's 5 weeks. 1 month, 5 weeks. Di ba? 5 weeks. So, delayed ang menstruation, 6 weeks. 5 to 6 weeks, delayed na menstruation. And you suspect that there might be pregnancy, lalo na kung merong history ng intercourse, right? Okay. And you do pregnancy test, you do ultrasound, and yes, it will confirm if the female is pregnant or not. Tama yun. Okay. But, meron kayong mas kukulit na pasyente. Dok, gusto ko malaman kung anong sex na pinagbubuntis ko. What will you answer? 6 weeks. Malalaman niyo ba kung babae o lalaki ang pinagbubuntis niya? What will be your answer?
Tao po yung anak niya.
How will you answer that? Section B. Section B po. Hello. Wala na po bang tao sa section B? Alisa na po ba kayo lahat? Hello?
Andito pa po.
Oh, how will you answer? Kaya ko kayo tinatanong, gusto ko maintindihan niyo yung concept. Ano bang sabi natin? Until the 7th week of human development, the male and female morphological characteristics are said to be indifferent. Hindi mo pa malalaman kung babae o lalaki. But at the time of fertilization, it's already distinct whether it's going to be male or female. Tama. But the expression whether it's male or female will not be seen until 7th weeks of human development. So you have to wait. You have to wait for you to determine whether it's going to be male or female. Phenotypically, kasi doon pala madidevelop yung gonad. Did you get the point, mga anak?
Yes po.
Hello po, nasa na ba yung iba? Wala na nagsasalita.
Yes po, Doc.
Yes po.
Wala, pinagtaguan nyo na ako eh. Nagpatay na kayo ng camera lahat eh. Okay? What are the components we should form the female and male reproductive systems? O siguro naman alam nyo bakit kayo naging babae at bakit kayo naging lalaki. Andrea, bakit mo alam babae ka?
Because po, may ovary po ako.
May ovary ka. Very good. Ano pa? Hindi ko pwede pagkakababae mo kung ovary lang meron ka.
Doc, choppy po kayo ulit.
Oy, naka-double setup ako ha. Nadidinig yung boses ko ha. What else? Paano wala mong babae ka? Ayan o, gonad. Genital duct systems. Anong meron sa babae na genital duct systems? Parang wala mong babae ka. You know you're female because you have uterus. Andrea, nag-menstruate ka na ba?
Opo.
Oh, okay. Saan ba nagagaling ng, di ba? So uterus, sigurado ka, nag-menstruate ka, di may uterus ka. Okay? And external genitalia. Because the features of your external genitalia are that of female. Clitoris, labia majora, labia minora. Here? Oh, Luis. Sigurado ka bang lalaki ka? Bakit ka naging lalaki? Luis, balik na rin natin sitwasyon. Anong meron ka, Luis?
May testis po ako.
Okay, may testis. Yun lang? Hindi kompleto pagkalalaki mo kung testis lang meron ka. O external genitalia, anong meron ka sa external genitalia?
Tapos penis din po.
May penis, okay. And you have vas deferens, epididymis. So you have your genital duct systems. So what I'm to say, para malaman kung babae o lalaki ka, all this must be present. Gonad, whether ovary or testis, genital duct systems, whether you have derivatives of mesonephric or paramesonephric duct, external genitalia. If you have penis, male. If you have clitoris, labia majora, labia minora, female. Clear po tayo? Okay. So our objective for this afternoon is for us to discuss, to trace the embryonic origin of those structures. Okay? Let's give an overview. Last week, your topic is about development of urinary system. Tama ba, mga anak?
Yes po.
Okay. So again, I'm sure you heard this term, intermediate mesoderm. Okay? The embryonic origin coming from mesoderm, intermediate mesoderm. Embryologically, the urinary and genital or reproductive systems are closely associated because the embryonic origin is coming from intermediate mesoderm. Okay, coming from intermediate mesoderm, you have development of the structure, urogenital ridge. Again, coming from intermediate mesoderm, you have the development of urogenital ridge. Okay, look at the naming. urogenital. So you have derivatives of urinary, and you have derivatives of reproductive. Okay, so here is your nephrogenic cord that will give rise to parts of urinary system. And here is your genital ridge or gonadal ridge, which will give rise to parts of reproductive system. Okay, this will be shown to you in the laboratory. Okay pa? Andrew, clear so far?
Yes, po.
Okay. So you could see here, initially, in the beginning, you have both mesonephric duct and paramesonephric duct. Whether it's going to be male, whether it's going to be female in the future, both mesonephric and paramesonephric ducts are present. Okay, gonads. Sa babae, ovary. Sa lalaki, testis. Okay, coming from three sources. The mesodermal epithelium, lining the posterior abdominal wall, the underlying mesenchyme, and the primordial germ cells. So these are the sources of the gonads. Okay. So you're going to see this in the laboratory. Sure. This is the mesonephros. I'm sure you've seen the mesonephros. Okay. On the medial side of the developing mesonephros, okay, there will be a thickened area of epithelium, and it will start to proliferate to form the gonadal or genital ridge. Okay, again, that will be mentioned in the laboratory. On the medial side of the developing mesonephros, okay, we have the development of gonadal or genital ridge. So here is the gonadal or genital ridge. Okay, what will happen after? So you have development of finger-like epithelial cords on both sides. And this will form now the indifferent gonad, which initially made up of external cortex and internal medulla. Okay, again, indifferent gonad, so it can be male gonad or female gonad. The features are the same. Again, until what week? It is said to be indifferent gonad, sexually undifferentiated until what week?
Seventh po.
7th week. Okay, very good. Okay, do you still remember the yolk sac? One of the fetal membranes. You still remember that? This is the yolk sac here, coming from endoderm. So what I'm trying to say, the endodermal cells of the yolk sac will migrate, okay, to be incorporated in the primary sex cords. So here, again, the endodermal cells of the yolk sac will migrate into the dorsal mesentery of the hindgut to be incorporated into the genital or gonadal ridges. Okay, and that will eventually become the primordial germ cells. Okay, so again, look at this picture. Whether it's going to be male or whether it's going to be female, whether it's going to be testis or whether it's going to be ovary. Remember the basic principle. Until 7th week, it is identical in appearance. You cannot tell whether it's a testis or an ovary. Clear so far? Okay. What if at the time of fertilization, 22Y sperm cell fertilizes 22X egg cell? So what is the result again? What is the union? 44 X, Y. Destined to become male. Are we clear so far?
Yes po.
Okay. Y chromosome. On the Y chromosome, the SRY gene. Okay. And on the SRY gene, you have the testis. On the SRY gene, you have the testis determining factor. Okay, look at this picture. So we did the males. You have your Y chromosome. Again, if there's Y chromosome, okay, there is the gene SRY or sex determining region. And on that, you have your testis determining factor. Which means it will be testis. Again, there will be formation of testis. Clear po? Are we clear?
Gets po, Doc. If there will be testis, just follow the name. Testis will direct testicular differentiation. Okay? So which means the indifferent gonad, okay, will develop to become testis. The primary sex cords will become seminiferous cords to become eventually seminiferous tubule. Primordial germ cells will become spermatogonia. Mesenchymal cells will form two important cells, Sertoli and Leydig cells. Okay, clear po? Clear po tayo?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. Must know Leydig cells and Sertoli cells. Leydig cells or interstitial cells, starting at 8 weeks, will secrete androgenic hormones, testosterone, and androstenedione. While Sertoli cells will secrete anti-Mullerian hormone or Mullerian inhibiting substance. Okay? Again, let's go back to the term. Mesonephric duct, you associate it with male or female? Section B, try to answer para alam po kung if you're getting the concept. Mesonephric duct, you associate it with male or female?
Male.
Okay. Para mesonephric duct, you associate it with male or female?
Female.
Female. Okay. Basic principles to remember. If the mesonephric duct will develop, the paramesonephric duct will regress. If the paramesonephric duct will develop, the mesonephric duct will regress. Okay. What will cause development of mesonephric duct? The presence of testosterone. What will cause regression of paramesonephric duct is the presence of anti-Mullerian hormone. Did you get it? Okay, again, ulitin ko try to answer. What will cause development of mesonephric duct? Presence or absence of testosterone? Presence. What will cause regression of mesonephric duct? Presence or absence of anti-Mullerian hormone?
Presence.
Presence or absence of anti-Mullerian hormone? Hello? Section B. Ano
Presence
sagot
po.
natin? Presence po. Okay. Very good. Kaya nga, anti-Mullerian eh. Against. Okay? Let's reverse. 22X sperm cell fertilizes 22Y. 22X sperm cell fertilizes 22X egg cell. Do you have Y chromosome?
None po.
None. In the absence of Y chromosome and the presence of two X chromosomes, the ovaries will develop, the mesonephric duct regresses, and the paramesonephric duct will develop. What will cause regression of mesonephric duct?
Absence of Y chromosome.
Absence of?
Testosterone po.
Very good. Absence of testosterone. Walang testis eh. Walang Leydig cell. Walang testosterone secretion. The mesonephric duct regresses. Tama. What will cause development of paramesonephric duct?
The absence of anti-Mullerian hormone.
Very good. Absence of anti-Mullerian hormone. In the absence of anti-Mullerian hormone, the paramesonephric duct will develop. Clear na po tayo? Okay. Ovaries form under the influence of a gene, WNT4. And then there will be secretion. If the ovary will be formed, estrogen will be produced.
and estrogen is involved in sexual differentiation, paramesonephric duct stimulation, and extragenitalia of female. Okay? No TDF, no TDF, there will be formation of ovary. Okay? So the indifferent gonad so will become pictures of ovary. Okay, you have formation of oogonia coming from primordial germ cells, and you have formation of follicular cells coming from the mesenchyme. Okay, let's go back to these terms. Mesonephric, paramesonephric. Mesonephric, otherwise known as Wolffian duct. Wolffian duct. Paramesonephric, otherwise known as Mullerian duct. Mesonephric, Wolffian, you associated with male. Paramesonephric, Mullerian, associated with female. Okay, again, basic principles. If the mesonephric duct will develop, what will happen to the paramesonephric duct? Regresses. Very good. If the paramesonephric duct will develop, what will happen to the mesonephric duct? Regresses. Very good. So, hindi pwede, ulitin ko ha, hindi pwedeng mag-regress pareho si mesonephric at paramesonephric duct. Okay? Ano yun? Hindi mo alam kung babae ka o lalaki. Okay? At hindi naman pwede both mesonephric duct and paramesonephric duct will develop. Ang saya-saya mo naman, di ba? Meron kang features ng lalaki, meron kang features ng babae. Those are basic concepts to remember. Clear po? Clear tayo? What is normal again? Ulit ha. If the mesonephric duct will develop, paramesonephric duct will regress. Okay. If the paramesonephric duct will develop, the mesonephric duct will regress. Okay, remember that. What will cause development of mesonephric duct? Again? Very good. Presence of testosterone. What will cause regression of paramesonephric duct?
The absence of anti-Mullerian hormone.
Regression, regression.
Presence.
Presence of anti-Mullerian hormone. Baliktarin natin ulit. What will cause regression of mesonephric duct?
The absence of testosterone.
Absence of testosterone. What will cause development of mesonephric duct, paramesonephric duct? Very good. Absence of anti-Mullerian hormone. Okay, section B, did you get that? Meron pa pong nalilito? Section B, tatawag ako pag ako nagtawag ha. Did you get that, section B?
Yes
Yes,
po.
Kuya.
Clear po tayo?
Yes, Kuya.
Okay. So again, in the beginning, as we have mentioned earlier, both mesonephric and paramesonephric ducts are present. So in this picture, you could see this is the paramesonephric duct and mesonephric duct. Okay, the red one here is your mesonephric. This is mesonephric, red one. Okay, the blue part here is paramesonephric. Okay, So let's mention the derivatives. Let's start with male. Under the influence of testosterone, which is produced by the fetal testis, starting at 8 weeks, a mesonephric duct will develop to form the epididymis, ductus or vas deferens, seminal vesicle, and ejaculatory duct. Okay, remember your laboratory last week? Mesonephric duct. Okay, one favorite question in the laboratory, in the practical. Give derivatives of mesonephric duct in males. So what will be your answer? Epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, and ejaculatory duct. In males. But if the question is, give derivatives of mesonephric ducts in females, what will be your answer? Very good. No, none. Okay, no derivative of mesonephric duct for females. Only for males. Again, mesonephric duct will regress due to absence of testosterone, while paramesonephric duct will develop due to absence of anti-Mullerian hormone. And what are derivatives of paramesonephric ducts in females? Uterine tube, uterus, cervix, and vagina, superior part. Okay. Last week, I'm sure this was mentioned. Inferior part of the vagina is a derivative coming from what embryonic structure? What is your answer?
Urogenital
Portion of the urogenital sinus.
What part of the urogenital sinus?
Pelvic portion po.
Very good. Pelvic portion. Very good. Again, the urogenital sinus. This is the urogenital sinus, remember. So this will give rise to the bladder, vesical part, okay? Pelvic part, sa babae, will become the inferior part of the vagina. Okay? While the phallic will become the external genitalia. Okay, you have to remember that. So this is just a summary. Review these pictures. So you have here the indifferent gonad, okay, which can be either a male gonad or a female gonad. Okay, how will you answer this question? What will cause differentiation? What will cause gonadal differentiation? What's your answer? How will you answer that? What will cause gonadal differentiation? Para maging testis, dapat merong
Testis determining factor.
very good with TDF. Okay? Para maging babae, ovary, dapat walang TDF. So the presence of TDF, it will give rise to differentiation of testis, and the absence of TDF, you have development of ovary. Clear?
Yes po.
Okay. Those are basic concepts to remember. Okay. Again, so here is the developing gonad. Okay. And you have here the mesonephric and paramesonephric duct. And you know already the reasons why it will regress or it will develop. Okay. Go back to the basic principles. Normally, again, the Wolffian duck will develop the Mullerian duck best. Ang babae, if the Mullerian duck will develop, the Wolffian duck will degenerate or regress. Okay, clear pa? Questions so far?
None po, Doc.
Okay, very good. What about the external genitalia? Okay, coming from the phallic. The phallic of urogenital sinus. Okay, again, also until the 7th week of human development, the external genitalia is also undifferentiated, sexually undifferentiated. And these are parts of the genital tubercle. We have the phallus, and urogenital folds. Again, what are parts of the genital tubercle? Phallus, labioescrotal swelling, and urogenital folds. Okay, for males, what will happen if it is destined to become a male external genitalia? Okay, phallus will enlarge and elongate to form the finis, corpora cavernosa, and corpora spongiosa. The urogenital folds will become the ventral aspect of the finis and spongy urethra, while the labioescrotal swellings will start to grow toward each other and fuse to form the scrotum. So in males, this is male. Okay, this is also under the influence of testosterone. Again, this is under the influence of testosterone. Testosterone, sorry. Okay. Females. Okay, let's go to females. Okay. If this is seen to become a female external genitalia, okay, so this is female. The growth of phallus will stop to become clitoris. The urogenital folds will become the labia minora and frenulum, while the labioescrotal swellings will become the labia majora, anterior posterior labial commissures, and mons pubis. Okay. So let's summarize. I want you to remember this picture. So this is the internal genitalia. This is the external genitalia. Okay. Principles to remember. Until what week it's said to be undifferentiated until 7th weeks. Okay. This one is with Y chromosome, with TDF. That's this determining factor. So in the presence of TDF, in the presence of Y chromosome, So you have development of male, external, and internal genitalia. Okay? In the absence of TDF, without TDF, okay, without Y chromosome, the external genitalia will become internal and external genitalia will become that of female, internal and external genitalia. Clear po? So pag may TDF, ano magiging external genitalia? Babae, lalaki? Lalaki. Kung walang TDF, ano magiging external genitalia at internal genitalia? Babae o lalaki? Babae. So again, this is just a summary. This is the undifferentiated external genitalia. Okay? This one is with TDF. With. This one is without TDF. Okay? So, what are said to be homologous structures? What is, if I ask you, what is the counterpart? Sa babae, what is the counterpart of penis?
Clitoris.
Clitoris. What is the counterpart of the ventral aspect of penis? In females, labia minora. What is the counterpart of scrotum? In females, labia majora. Again, what is the counterpart of penis? Please answer.
Clitoris po.
What is the counterpart of the ventral aspect of penis? In females? Very good. What is the counterpart of scrotum in females?
Labia majora po.
Very good. So again, go back to the basic principles. Huh? With Y chromosome, with TDF, external genitalia, features of male. Without TDF, without Y chromosome, the external genitalia will become features of female. Clear so far?
Yes po.
Sorry po, lagi lumalabas sa computer ko, internet connection is unstable. Kaya natin ang PLDT. Kaya binabagalan ko na lang po. Okay, clear po? Clear sa mga anak?
Yes po.
Okay. This is just a summary. Okay. Sundan nyo lang po siya. Okay? This is just a summary. Sundan nyo lang po. Okay? So, let's go now to principles again. Normal sexual differentiation. The appearance of the external and internal genitalia is consistent with the sex chromosome complement. So what does it mean? So if you're 44 XY, ano dapat ang external at internal genitalia niya? Pang babae ba o pang lalaki?
Male po.
Male. If it is 44 XX, you expect that the external and internal genitalia is that of male or female? Female. Okay. Yun lang yun. For normal sexual differentiation, the appearance of the external and internal genitalia is consistent with the sex chromosome complement. So if you're 44XY, dapat ang features mo ay panlalaki. If you're 44XX, dapat ang features mo ay pambabae. Okay, if there will be errors, 44XX ka, pero mayroon kang itsurang pang external genitalia na lalaki, may error. Diba? So, ang tawag doon ay intersexuality or hermaphroditism. Okay? Again. So, siguro naman nakita niyo yung picture na yan. Diba? Kaya nga hermaphrodite. Hindi pwedeng may pictures ka ng pambabae at panglalaki. Pambabae at lalaki. Diba? So, you will be labeled as hermaphrodite. Clear po? Okay. Look at the external genitalia. Is it for male or female? Section B.
Male ko do.
Okay. So again, kung titignan mo, pang lalaki. Okay? But again, there are cases that there is masculinization of the external genitalia. Ambiguous genitalia, for example, in clinical entities like congenital adrenal hyperplasia. In these cases, in congenital adrenal hyperplasia, there is an increased secretion of androgens. Okay, and this will cause masculinization of the external genitalia. Okay, what if, okay, it is a female, and then you have congenital adrenal hyperplasia. So what will happen to the external genitalia? So the appearance, it will show an enlarged clitoris, which looks like a penis, and a fused labia majora, which looks like a scrotum. So these are examples of ambiguous genitalia. Okay? So, understood po?
Yes po.
Okay. So let's define some terms. Hermaphroditism. We have two types. True hermaphrodite and pseudo-hermaphroditism. True hermaphrodite, we have both ovarian and testicular tissue. Okay? Rare naman yan. Person has both testes and ovary. Okay? Pseudo-hermaphroditism. External genitalia of one sex, but the gonad of the opposite sex. Okay. So, question here. These are two types. Female pseudo-hermaphroditism. So 46, 44XY, 44XX. Okay, with ovaries. But the external genitalia, you have masculinization of the external genitalia. Okay, remember our example here, congenital adrenal hyperplasia. So these are example for female pseudohermaphroditism. Okay? Male hermaphroditism. Okay, it's the opposite. 46, 44, XY, but the external genitalia is that of female features. Okay, ulitin natin na. Let's define some terms, ha? When you say pseudohermaphroditism, the external genitalia of one sex and the gonad of the opposite sex. So here, you have ovary, but the external genitalia, the appearance is like that of male, masculinization of the external genitalia. On the other hand, male pseudohermaphroditism, okay, you have testes, but the features are that of female. Okay po? Are we clear? Okay, let's give example. Babalikan ko pa yung pictures kanina, no words. Okay, look at this picture. We call this as testicular feminization syndrome, otherwise known as androgen insensitivity syndrome. Okay, genetically male, XY, 44XY. So you have testes. You have testes, so you have Leydig cells. Okay, Leydig cells, you have testosterone. Okay, but the problem here is lack of androgen receptors for testosterone. So which means testosterone has no effect. There is no masculinization. So the pictures externally ay mukhang pambabae. Okay? May testis, may Sertoli cell. So merong anti-Mullerian hormone. Okay? So what will happen if you have anti-Mullerian hormone? There will be regression of the paramesonephric duct. Okay? Clear po? Okay. What is this case? Androgen insensitivity syndrome or testicular feminization syndrome. Okay. Again, the genetic sex is male, 44XY, with testis, with testosterone, but no receptors for testosterone. Lack of androgen receptors. So what will happen? What is the result? The appearance is a normal appearing female. Mukhang babae. Okay? So medically, legally, and socially, females. Pinangalan ng babae, lumaking babae, dinamitang babae. Kasi mukha siyang babae. Normal appearing females. Okay? Mga doktora, tanong ko lang, lahat ba kayo nag-menstruation na? At what age yung menstruation ng babae normally? Mga doktora, hello po. Kung yung sabihin sa akin, hindi pa kayo nag-menstruate, Ay, wala pa yata.
Usually po between 10 to 15.
15, masyado namang late bloomer yun.
Or 10 to 12 po.
Okay. So, paano lang, kailan lang ito na-diagnose? It's only diagnosed when menstruation does not occur. So, magtaka ka. Ang itsura niya, ang babae. Pero walang menstruation. Eh, ba't siya magme-menstruate? Wala naman siyang uterus. Wala naman siyang ovary. So, menstruation will not occur. Pero mukha siyang babae. Nakuha po yung concept?
Yes po.
Genetically male siya. Meron siyang testosterone. But the problem here, walang receptor for testosterone. Anong effect nun? So, hindi mag-manifest yung effects ng testosterone. No masculinization effects. Sa mukha siyang babae. Are we clear? Are we clear po? So normal looking female external genitalia. Okay? Because the external genitalia for male, there's failure to differentiate. Remember we mentioned earlier, it's also under androgen stimulation. Okay po? Okay po? Clear so
Yes,
far? Okay. So this is a, okay, this is a X-linked recessive disorder. So namamana yan. Okay? So here is a case of androgen insensitivity syndrome, testicular feminization. So you have 4 siblings. Okay? Mukha silang babae. Okay? But genetically, lahat sila ay lalaki. But the appearance, external genitalia, is that of female. Okay po?
Yes po.
So, kailan mo malalaman lang? Usually, magpapa-consult lang yan. Kasi at age, dapat di ba, sa babae, menstruation should occur at age 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Diba kung 18 years old ka na, 19 years old, 20 years old, babae ka, tapos hindi ka pa nagme-menstruate, magtaka ka. Diba? I suppose all of you, doctoras, nag-menstruate na. Okay? Clear po? Do you have questions here? Okay, tatanungin niyo ba sa akin kung nasa ng testis niya? Doc, baka ng testis nito? The descent of testis is also under the influence of testosterone. So the testis is arrested at the inguinal area. Remember that, the testis is seen here. Okay? So there is bilateral masses at the inguinal area. Testis yun. Okay pa? Questions here? This is androgen insensitivity syndrome. Okay, pakibasa po yung pictures ha. Okay, let's go to anomalies of the uterus and vagina. There's incomplete fusion of the paramesonephric duct. Okay. Incomplete development of paramesonephric duct. Failure parts of one or both paramesonephric ducts to develop, or incomplete canalization of the vaginal plate to form the vagina. Okay, this is best remembered with a picture. So I'm going to show you a picture. This is a normal uterus. Okay, normal uterus. Okay, I want you to compare normal uterus with the other pictures. This is normal uterus. Okay pa? So what are some anomalies? So you have your double uterus, bicornate, septate, unicornate, and arcuate. So again, look at the pictures. I want you to look closely at the pictures. Okay, unicornate, which means only one side of paramesonephric duct developed and the other one regresses. Okay, unicornate. Septate, you have a membrane separating the uterine cavity. Septate means membrane. Okay, arcuate, you have just indentation here within the uterine cavity. Okay, a double uterus. So which means you have two uterus. And a bicornate, we have two horns. Okay, so questions here. Answer it by simply yes or no. A woman with uterine anomaly can get pregnant. Yes or no? Pwede ba siya magbuntis?
Yes po.
Yes. Yes. Bakit naman hindi? Meron siyang ovary, meron siyang uterus. But the better question to ask is it going to be a successful pregnancy? Mean to say, nag-terminate yung pregnancy into a successful. Okay? These types of females with uterine anomaly can get pregnant, but expect that you're going to have some complications. Okay? And that you're going to learn when you go to your OB-GYN next year. Okay? So these are examples of uterine anomaly. Questions po? So ito po yung double uterus. Ha? With double uterus, with a single or double vagina. Okay, what about testis? Okay, we did mention that testis starts as a retroperitoneal organ. Okay, but with under the influence of testosterone, it will descend. Okay, controlled by androgens, it will descend towards the scrotum. At 3rd months, it's seen at the iliac fossa. 7th months, at the deep inguinal ring. 8 months at the inguinal canal, and 9 months at the scrotum. Okay, these are just some terms that I want you to remember. Gubernaculum. It's a fibrous cord that connects the fetal testis from the bottom of the scrotum. So this is gubernaculum. Gubernaculum. So which means it pulls the testis towards the scrotum. Okay, the other embryonic term to remember is processus vaginalis. It's an outpouching of the peritoneum. So again, look closely at this picture. This is the processus vaginalis. It's an outpouching. Okay, after descent of the testis, what will happen? It should close. Questions pa? Okay. I want you to visualize that. Processes vaginal close. Okay. If there's closure, so what will happen? If there's failure closure, okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes po.
Okay, if there's failure closure, fluid coming from the abdominal pelvic will go to the scrotum. Or if the hole is massive, malaki, aside from fluid, you have your, this one, okay, look closely here. You have your viscous organ, and that could result to hernia. Okay? When you go to your pediatrics, you'll be asked to examine the newborn. In premature males, sometimes you could see undescended testes. What is the term? Cryptorchidism, which is usually seen in premature males. Okay, it could be unilateral or bilateral. Okay, and where is the most likely location of the testis? The most common location of ectopic testis is at the inguinal canal. So wait, just wait. Kasi nga premature eh. Okay? If testis is found arrested at the deep inguinal ring, inguinal canal, or superficial inguinal ring, a testicular hormone therapy may be tried. Pwede. Okay? But if there will be failure of hormonal therapy, surgical procedure may be tried, and we call that as orchidopexy, wherein, again, the testis is surgically mobilized and fixed to the scrotal ball. Okay? What is the reason behind why? Undescended testis. What are the risks of undescended testis? Sperm cells will not be produced. If bilateral, males will be sterile. Okay? For spermatogenesis to occur, it must be under a controlled temperature. Not so hot, not so cold. Alam ng mga lalaki yan kung ano nangyayari. Ba? Dr. Roy, pag mainit masyado, ano nangyayari sa testis, sa scrotum? Pag malamig naman, ano nangyayari? Di ba may nangyayari?
Yes po.
Okay. It's likely to develop malignancy. Okay. At the time of puberty, kung meron kayong kilala, kaibigan, kamag-anak, undescended testis at the time of puberty, dapat before the time of puberty, it should be corrected. Okay? Otherwise, no spermatogenesis will occur and is more likely to develop malignancy. Okay? So failure of closure of processus vaginalis, again, will result to inguinal hernia and hydrocele. So in the future, if you see a scrotal mass, karoon kayo ng pasyente, scrotal mass, you're going to examine it. It's either a hydrocele or an inguinal hernia. Okay? A simple test to determine whether it's fluid or solid is to do this trans-elimination test. Okay, how it is done? Okay, a pen light. Pen light is shown at the back of the scrotum. If you could see clearly the light, most likely the mass is liquid. that's hydrocele. Okay? Otherwise, if you could not see clearly the mass, the light, sorry, most likely it is solid in nature. So that's inguinal hernia. Are we clear? Trans illumination test. Clear po? Clear po? Mga anak.
Yes po,
Okay.
Doc.
Okay, these are the two types. Okay. These are the two types of penile anomalies, hypospadia and epispadia. Okay, again, let's visualize this one. Okay, look at this picture. Normally, the external urethral meatus should be at the tip of the glans penis. Okay, ulit. Normally, the tip of the external meatus should be at the tip of the glans penis. Tama. If it is seen on the dorsal side, we call it as epispadia. If it is seen on the ventral side, we call it as hypospadia. Yun lang naman, di ba? Again, ulit ha. If the external urethral meatus is seen on the ventral side, hypospadia. On the dorsal side, epispadia. Okay po? Hello? Okay. And this should be surgically corrected po. Okay? This will be discussed in details when you go to your surgery. Okay? So these are just examples. Pinakita ko lang po, no worries. Hindi ko tatanong sa inyo yan. Basta importante lang, dorsal and ventral. Yun lang gusto ko malaman. And this should be surgically corrected. Okay? This is epispadia. The external urethral meatus is on the dorsal, so here. I think that's the last slide. Okay. Section B,